From the onset, Poole was to be the catalyst for change in Washington. With the weight of expectation squarely on his shoulders, he was expected to elevate the team from mediocrity to greatness. He was meant to be the beacon of hope, the catalyst for change, but instead, he's become a symbol of everything that's gone wrong for the Wizards. Poole has not led the charge. His time with the Wizards has been marked by inconsistency, underperformance, and a lack of leadership. And his failings aren't just his alone. They also show that the Wizards front office chose poorly. The failure to recognize Poole's true potential and build a team around him has left the franchise in disarray. But how did this come to be? What went wrong for Jordan Poole? And why is he considered the biggest mistake in the history of the Washington Wizards? Join us as we uncover the truth behind Jordan Poole and uncover the harsh realities lurking beneath the surface of NBA stardom. In the NBA, players change teams all the time, but what happened to Poole was a basketball exile. There were no plots or sinister schemes when the Warriors shipped him off in the Chris Paul deal. However, the destination they chose for this enigmatic young guard raised more than a few eyebrows. He was a rising star, adorned in the blue and gold of the Golden State Warriors, poised to carve his mark in the league. But fate had other plans. Poole found himself uprooted and moved to the heart of the nation's capital, the Washington Wizards. Little did anyone know it would become a defining moment in the young guard's career. As Poole stepped into the court in Washington, the once rosy narrative began to unravel. Fast forward to today, and it's been a roller coaster season for both the Wizards and their guard. Humbling might be an understatement. The capital city has witnessed Poole's ups and downs, but mostly downs. It's been a long, grueling season, and the stark contrast in his game and performance since his Golden State days is impossible to ignore. The transition from the Bay Area to the capital city proved to be a baptism by fire for him. Gone were the comforts of familiarity and camaraderie, replaced by the harsh reality of a struggling team in dire need of direction. Night after night, Poole steps onto the court wearing the Wizards' colors, and it's like watching a completely different player. The electrifying performances we once saw in Golden State have become a distant memory. The Wizards, sitting at a dismal 9-52 record, are enduring a season that falls far short of expectations. While many anticipated a challenging year for the team, the magnitude of their struggles is undeniable. However, amidst the collective disappointment, Poole's performance is particularly unexpected. A change in strategy. Following the All-Star break, new Wizards coach Brian Keefe shook things up by moving Poole to the bench. The goal was to give more playing time to promising rookie Bilal Coulibaly, but Poole's performance in his new role left much to be desired. Unsurprisingly, Poole expressed his discontent. Clearly, the adjustment did not sit well with the guard, raising questions about his mindset and adaptability in the face of adversity. Let's get real for a moment. If Poole wants to reclaim his starting spot, the responsibility falls on his shoulders to elevate his game. His efficiency has taken a nosedive this season. Add to that his defensive struggles and a growing reputation for mental mistakes. It's clear that Coach Keefe's decision was right. Shooting slumps are part and parcel of a player's journey, and Poole is no exception. Currently, he's shooting 40% from the field and 31% from beyond the arc. Now, the optimistic view is that these percentages will bounce back, but the real issue lies in Poole's demeanor on the court. What's troubling is the visible confusion, frustration, and deflation in Poole's body language. The energy, effort, and discipline that define a team leader seem to be missing. It's not just about the missed shots. It's about the lack of contribution in other facets of the game. A great offensive player finds ways to impact the game, even when the shot isn't falling. Poole, however, hasn't shifted his focus. His free throw attempt rate is the worst of his career. He also has a high turnover rate, and he has defensive lapses. These paint a worrying picture. Instead of diversifying his game, he's persistently attempting to shoot his way out of the slump. Here's where it gets even more complicated for the Wizards. Jordan Poole is in the first year of a hefty 4-year, $128 million contract. If he continues down this path, it raises the daunting specter of him becoming untradeable on that deal. For a team with aspirations, having a key player consistently underperforming is a big challenge. Playing him represents a conundrum for the Wizards. They hope for improvement, but his defensive flaws and ball hogging hurt other players' development. It's a delicate dance between nurturing talent and striving for immediate success. Brian Keefe faces an uphill battle in managing his integration into the team. It's a challenge for the whole season. It needs strategy and commitment to the team's vision. The long drought. It's been a tough stretch for the Wizards, with their last conference finals appearance dating back to 1979. Back then, names like Elvin Hayes, Bob Dandridge, and Wes Unseld graced the court, leading the team to its last 50-win season. To put the Wizards' struggles in context, the last time they made a deep playoff run, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and the three-point shot were new to the NBA. Fast forward to today, and the Wizards are facing a different kind of challenge, rebuilding in an era defined by a lackluster recent performance. The recent years haven't been kind either. Despite flashes of promise, the Wizards haven't managed a 500 season and saw their playoff hopes dashed into first-round exits. A few years earlier, the Wizards could at least boast 20-point scorers in Bradley Beal, Kristaps Porzingis, and Kyle Kuzma. However, the winds of change have swept through Washington. Beal was traded to Phoenix, and Porzingis landed in Boston. With the possibility of starting from scratch, the Wizards face a critical decision regarding Poole. While there's a chance to trade him for future draft choices, the team must balance this with the need to give fans a reason to attend games. At his best, Poole brings a unique skill set with long-range shooting and explosive moves. But he also has glaring defensive lapses and a questionable decision-making history. The wake-up call. The past couple of years have been a whirlwind for Poole, marked by flashes of brilliance and bouts of hubris. Perhaps being sidelined and coming off the bench for the struggling Wizards has finally caught his attention. No one doubts his talent, but his attitude has sometimes overshadowed his skills. The transition from a contender starting lineup to the bench of one of the league's worst teams is a humbling experience indeed. It's a reminder that talent alone isn't enough. Humility and work ethic are crucial. Poole's poor performances this season has raised eyebrows across the league. Scoring in single digits multiple times and hitting season lows is a cause for concern. He gets lots of playing time, but he can't consistently score points, and this is worrying, given his potential as a scorer. Looking ahead. But despite the setbacks, there's still hope for Poole's redemption. With the right guidance and influence, he can reclaim his status as a scoring threat in the league. But the Wizards lack depth and structure. This makes it hard for them to win games and support Poole's development. And despite making it past the trade deadline, his future with the Wizards remains shrouded in uncertainty. Unless significant changes occur, both on and off the court, the Poole party might find itself relocated next season. It's a crucial period for Poole to reflect on his attitude and performance. Alongside Poole, Kyle Kuzma's future in DC seems uncertain. Rumors suggest he might be boarding the midnight train out of DC alongside Poole. Things are changing, and the Wizards might be considering shaking up their roster to spark a turnaround. As the offseason approaches, the Wizards may explore the trade market for Poole. However, he has played poorly this season. They might need to sweeten the deal by adding a pick or other incentives. It's a strategic move that could shape the team's trajectory in seasons to come. The Wizards. It wasn't a pleasant time for the Pistons when they endured a 28-game losing streak. The internet erupted with jokes, and even Pistons fans found themselves using humor as a coping mechanism. However, as the losses piled up, pity replaced the laughter, with fans across the league ironically rooting for Detroit to break the streak. Pistons fans have long memories, and they don't forget when someone sliced them. The recent shift in fortunes sees the Washington Wizards now occupying the league's cellar. They find themselves in an unfamiliar and undesirable position. Despite attempts to distance themselves from the stigma of being that team, their situation isn't much better. With a lack of clear star power and hefty contracts on the books, including Poole's, the road to rebuilding appears far. With a 15-game losing streak, the Wizards find themselves mired in a season of despair. The irony isn't lost as they become that team, bearing the weight of consecutive losses and mounting frustration. But amidst the uncertainties, there's always a beacon of positivity. NBA stars like Luka Doncic continue to shine, making waves with their unparalleled skills and contributions to the game. So before you go, dive into the excitement and discover why Luka Doncic makes no sense this season. Hit play on the following video and immerse yourself in the brilliance of one of the NBA's brightest stars. Until next time, stay tuned for more thrilling basketball stories, and we'll see you on the next one.